Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm. When this girl over here sees me, do you not realize I'm here? She's been cutting up. She knows when it's time to eat. And I do think that she appreciates her feed more than anybody on this farm. And here I am making a fool out of myself, talking about her because she's taking her sweet time getting up here. But y'all, Matilda is not gonna let us forget to feed her. Everybody else, you know, they let you know when it's feeding time, but Matilda, she tops the cake. It makes me wonder if she was without a meal a time or two in her youth. You know, when we got her, she was kind of frail. Of course, she was walking on 3 wheels, and those 3 legs that she was utilizing, that was a challenge. But y'all can see her. She looks normal. She looks normal. Now let's go get her fed, since she made a fool out of me. I told y'all. She's mooing now. She knows that I came in here and I'm getting her food prepared. Got her LubriSyn added to her food, which is the sole reason she's utilizing 4 legs. And I am so happy for that. And now I must tell y'all something. Matilda's just gonna have to wait a second. But I'm in the stall with Snow White and her friends. And the friend that was sitting on the egg has not laid another one. So maybe she realizes that she's not gonna sit, and she hasn't laid another one, and I'm thankful for that. So some of you noticed some eggs I had sitting on the edge here, and that's where we've set them as she's laid them, to just kind of get them out of the way. I need to dispose of those. They're so small that we haven't been utilizing those for anything. They could be eaten, of course, but I never know how long they've been sitting before we see them, and I don't want to take a chance of course, selling them to anybody, much less eating them ourselves. So, yeah, that's why those eggs sit right there. All right, girlfriend, we're gonna get you fed. I think you're skipping and jumping and doing everything of the sort. Let's show how I can trick you. All right, look, you come over here. Come over here. Good girl. All right. Got Matilda taken care of. She loves her food, as y'all can see. I guess Jesse and Honey just wanted to let y'all know that they're here this morning. I have yet to let the goats out, one step at a time. I've yet to go and see Tater's baby or fed her this morning, but we're just getting started. So Matilda has torn up a bucket or 2 by being excited, swinging her head when she gets her feed, and we just replaced that bucket holder, because if I put the bucket on the ground, then I have to go in there with her. I'm not scared of her, but she's excited come feeding time, and I respect that. So having the bucket on the hanger has worked out, and when it breaks, we just put another one up, and that way the bucket stays put. I don't have to go in with her, slinging her head, and potentially do some damage that I don't need. Pookie and Peaches, y'all are up next. Y'all got a clean stall, except for Pookie decided to do her duty in the clean stall. The door's open in the evening since it's been so warm. Yeah, we're talking about you over there, girl. Talking about you. Peaches doesn't do her business in the stall. Peaches goes outside. But not Miss Pookie. Not Miss Pookie. Get Miss Peaches squeals of joy wet, and Miss Pookie's Essential K wet and go give them some feed. You know, something we don't talk about that much is the feed that we use for our animals. And I can't help but mention this morning, since I am feeding, the benefits of a good quality feed. If you guys have animals, you probably already know that, but it's worth mentioning that you can see Pookie's transition from the time that she's been here, being on pasture, being fed a good feed, the Kalmbach Tribute Essential K, and then Peaches having the Squeals of Joy mini pig feed, just makes all the difference in the world. But we are doing that with the older horses. Sorry, I'm taking y'all with me. I only have one really good working hand. We're wetting down the horses' feed as well as Pookie. Here you go, Peach. Pookie and Peach's feed, because it makes it easier for them to consume. And Peaches, we've been doing that with since she had the gastro problem and went to Auburn University several years ago. That was upon their recommendation. And then Pookie here, she's been having her feed wet since she got here as well. So, all right, let's see, girl. It rained a little bit last night. Do we need to empty your bucket out, or you think you're good? It's already wet, so it's not much water in there. Come here. She does such a good job standing back, waiting. Good girl. Such a good job standing back waiting on your food. You got a little shavings in your hair. We'll work on that after you get done eating. But for now, you enjoy your breakfast. And I'm going to go ahead and open your gate up so you can take a stroll once you get done. So I guess you're done already, huh? You got finished before I got finished. How did that happen? You eat really fast, don't you? All right, I hadn't even let your friends out yet. But you sure are looking beautiful this morning. You got wet, so your fly spray, I imagine, came off a little bit. But we'll get you reapplied today, even though you got some more rain coming. No, that's Jessie and Honey's bowl, and it's empty. It is empty. I don't need to know that it's empty. So we're gonna let Shake and Bake out. Shake and Bake, AKA Opie and Ernest T, the two nearly grown male emus. I'm gonna take my chances here and squat down so y'all can see how much they've grown. Nope, didn't get it. I shouldn't have done that. Out with these guys. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. There's no way that you're not going to let these guys in with the other animals now. They're used to being out with the others, and if we try to not put them in with them, now look, I have got to open the gate. Yeah, we're not gonna play that game this morning, okay? We're not gonna play slinging the head. We're just gonna love on each other. That's right, that's a good girl, yeah. And I'm gonna have a goat jump on my back in just a second. That feels good, doesn't it, girl? Yes, it does. But Ernest T and Opie are so used to going out with the other crew. They don't go out. They're gonna climb over the fence. I think they're part of the goat herd. I can't zoom in that far, but they're all the way in the back of the pasture. They beat the goats back there, and they just mingle with them. The goats act like they've been there forever, but there's no way we're going to separate them now. Not trying to, but there has been an incident where we let the boy emus just in the back of the barn and did not let the goats or the donkeys, I'm kind of laughing now, the goats or the donkeys join them. And goodness gracious, I'm gonna use my phone. All right, so I'm using my phone so I can zoom in, because I guarantee you they're gonna come zooming back by in just a second. But Matilda, please. They must have stopped. I don't know where they went. I don't see anybody. I see Fifi up in the tree. Watch Bootsie and watch Matilda. This is an everyday thing. Bootsie has met her match. She thinks she's the boss. Matilda just picked Bootsie up. And this is what Matilda needs to know. She can't do that with me. No, you go back to Bootsie. You cannot do that with me. You're going to do that with Bootsie, not me. Not me. You go play with Jessie, honey. I'm waiting on the two emus to come running, and I guess they're going to make a fool out of me. They're not coming back. All right, girl. Go play with her, Bootsie. Go play with her. Well, I've got cow feed in my arms. And we're going to go and attempt to get Tater fed. While Moody and Mildred are not, they're not after Tater's feed. They are very curious as to what's going on and what this red bowl is. Pretty soon they'll have it figured out. They'll know that I am indeed bringing feed, and I don't think their stomachs can hold anything right now. However, Tater is welcoming grain, and we don't address comments very often. Yes, we still get those nasty comments that, however, we just try to let that go by the wayside. Everybody's different. I respect personal opinions, and sometimes there's a need to address the ugliness. When it gets to being too much, sometimes you just feel the need to let it out. Try to let that go. But I do want to address one concern that I have had a couple of emails about. But the one thing that I do want to address is about feeding Tater. And as you guys know, we quit feeding Tater grain probably, I guess it was about 3 months before she gave birth. And that was when we found out she was pregnant. We were told by our vet, Dr. D, to stop feeding her grain, because if we didn't, the calf may be too big for her to deliver. So I'm comfortable in our decision to stop feeding her grain, let her consume hay. And there wasn't a lot of grass then, but she was pretty much strictly on hay. And she was able to deliver without any complications. So that decision was a good one. And this decision, I do believe, is a good one as well. The comment, oh my gracious. Do y'all see them? Here they come. They were in the other pasture running, and they made it back over here. I do believe that Otis is on the picnic table. No, he's not on the picnic table. He just looked like he was. There goes Ernest T. running, little Laura running beside him. I think this is fun for all. I think everybody enjoys seeing these little fellas run, goats included. I mean, they can't walk anywhere. Everywhere they go, they got to run. Here they come. Here they come. Back around for a second lap. Eventually, they stop. There goes Martha. She's like, oh, this is exciting. Opie's still running. Back to what I was saying. They're running again. This is to address a couple of emails, comments, whatever, that I've gotten about feeding Tater. They said that I've always had a farm, grew up on a farm. My family never fed the cows after giving birth. Well, I'm going to say this. Every situation's different. And every situation has a different solution. Our solution is based off what our vet recommends in most cases. And our vet recommended that we feed Tater grain, a high quality grain. So we are feeding Kalmbach beef feed, and that is to help Tater with her lactating needs. Now, our goal is to just feed Tater. However, I bring feed for Moody and Mildred in case they think they need to eat as well. It's not going to hurt them. Yes, it's putting weight on them, but Tater needs the grain. I can't separate Tater at this point. She is, she's out here with her calf, and I don't want to separate Tater. Her baby is not getting any grain right now, but as soon as that baby is old enough and comes up to her mama while she's eating, we will give the baby grain as well. So, like I said, normally don't address comments or emails personally, and this is more than one. So I just felt the need to say why we are feeding Tater grain. Grass is lush. I mean, look, we have good grass. And this fertilizer and lime that we've added to this pasture has really, really improved the quality. Our cows don't want the hay. They have had a hay bale in the area where their shelter is, and they don't want it, and that's what you want. So Tater's doing just that while Moody and Mildred have their bellies full out there. And I wanted to explain why I'm feeding Tater grain. And she knows now, she knows that this red bucket is what I'm feeding her out of. And as soon as she sees it, she's coming. Now she does have some flies on her, and we are addressing the fly issue the best we can. Come on, big girl. Come on. That a girl. Where's your baby this morning? You loving that this morning, aren't you, baby? Well, she don't act that interested in it. Don't pour it out. It's better on the ground, huh? Well, we don't feed any of our animals on the ground, Tater. Whatever you want to do, I guess. You're the boss lady at this point. Just try to eat the rest of it in the bowl, okay? And while you're eating, I'm going to go over and take a peek at your little fella you got over there, hidden somewhere. I bet he's in the same spot he's been. Y'all know I can't do anything out here in this pasture without 3 cats coming with me. And there's Biscuit over there lurking. And you know my big Bramble, he's going to be over here too. I guarantee you they're going to follow along with me on my entire walk across this pasture. I'm getting some good exercise in. He's a long way from the barn. That's just fine because it's where Tater thinks is safe. And by all means, we want to do what Tater thinks is best. We're not going to move him. Now this downed tree over here, you can see there's another one still standing, but we don't want to take it down while he's finding this as his resting place. If that one falls, it's not going to do any. Whoa, Bramble, you scared me to death. All right, where is he? I don't see him. Maybe she moved him. Okay. Oh, no, there he is. There he is. Hey, little fella. All tucked away in your tree. He's almost got a little area here. Hey, you got some flies on you this morning. Yes, you do. I got some stuff I can put on you to help you. And I'm not going to move you. No worries, little buddy. I'm not going to move you. You're going to stay right where you are because that's where Mama wants you. Got Biscuit coming up behind us. Biscuit, it's a calf. He belongs here. You do not belong over here. All right, little fella, I'm going to go put some fly spray on a rag that is intended for little babies because I got that covered too. All right, well, you stay over here today, buddy. Obviously, you're in a good place. Not for me to worry. Same place he was last night. He got up, ran around, nursed on Tater. I stayed out till dark watching him because, well, it's just kind of fun to see a little baby calf running around. Gosh, y'all, he's so precious. Look at him. And he's got some little white on his back, just like Tater does. I haven't looked at Tater's ears to see if that's the same markings or not, but as soon as I hear her coming, I'm going to get up and walk away because I'm knowing that She is still feeling that something is a threat to him. Look at his legs. Look how big his legs are. I mean, buddy, you are a big boy. And another thing, we are certain little Ferdinand, Nick and Zoe at Chestnut Hills Farmstead, is the daddy. He is a mini Hereford, which Tater is as well. Tater did get out multiple times, but the bull that was the neighbor's was not a Hereford. So no chance that that Ferdinand's not the daddy. He's a split image of both his mama and daddy. And Tater is not concerned with me checking on him. If she was, she would have ran behind me. Y'all, I just walked over the hillside and there goes Opie and Ernest T zooming by. I think Tater's gonna be finished eating by the time I get over here. She's still eating right now. I don't know if y'all can see her very good, but she's got her red bowl over there, and Moody and Mildred are still laying down. So that tells you Tater needs that food. If they were hungry, they'd come for it. They're not hungry. If your cows have grass, they're probably not interested in grain, because that is what they need, is grass. Right, big boy, girl? Y'all stay put. Can y'all see that? You see that white spot running full blast back to the back? That's Matilda. She didn't stop either. She's still running. And then here comes, I saw the emus. Matilda's still running. Oh my gracious. You know, there's a commercial, and I won't say the product name, but it says, blank, work for me. I think Matilda needs to make her a commercial, and it needs to say, LubriSyn worked for me. Because y'all, I'm here to tell y'all, she can come in here with the pasture with the cows, and there won't be any issues now. That girl can scoot. You don't have to throw any of your vegetables in the trash can without your mama seeing them, like Jason did when he was a kid. We won't talk about that. I think Jason threw them in a butter churn so his mom and daddy wouldn't know. But yeah, Tater's cleaning her plate. She's not gonna have anything left to dispose of. Why are you pushing it? That's not the ideal feed pan, but it's what we got, Tater. And it's what I can handle with one hand. All right, now you're good. Now you're good. You know, I talked on the live this morning about animals becoming more cordial and friendly after giving birth, and Tater's no exception. While we could pet her before, she's really become friendly since she's had the calf. And she was a bottle baby, so she's expected to be friendly, but she had gotten kind of standoffish, especially towards the end of her pregnancy. And I guess that's to be expected. You know, she didn't want us near her. She didn't want to go in that chute to be checked. She didn't want a fly spray on her. But now, I mean, look, I'm standing right beside her. Feed bowl's no problem. Petting her's no problem. So putting fly spray on her's no problem. Just happy big girl's healthy. All right, now Matilda's going up the hill. Y'all look. You can't make this stuff up. That cow could not walk, much less run. She's a prime example of getting back into good health. I am so thrilled. I just am so thrilled. I thought we were going to have her live in a separate pasture away from the cows forever. And seeing her, since she's been on this supplement, running and acting like a cow, she's definitely going to be okay. And she's been on the supplement, I would say probably a good month. So as time goes on, obviously, you know, it builds up in your system, and it just hadn't quit working for her, and I don't anticipate it ever will. We're going to continue to keep on the regimen we're on with her, which is 2 pumps had an equine vet come over and check out Reska. No. Had an equine vet come over and check out Willie. And we asked if the LubriSyn would be good to give Willie. And he said, absolutely. He wanted to know how we knew about LubriSyn. Well, we give it to our cow. He said, your cow? He said, I've never heard of anybody giving it to their cow, but I know it's good stuff. So, yeah, it works. And Willie's on it too. Reska is on it. I'm on it. Jason, I was just talking about your old buddy Willie here. I'm talking about you, Willie. Who's on your shirt, Jason?
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Guess what?
What?
I saw them running.
Man,
can you believe it?
I saw them all running.
Yeah, well,
It was cutting up early.
I got to film Matilda running with them. Willie, I was just talking about you being on the LubriSyn and how it's helped you as well. Matilda was running, and Willie obviously ran when he...
Oh, well, you know, I usually bring them both at the same time.
Yeah?
But this morning, they were full. I don't know what, if it's the weather or what. Everybody's just...
I know what it is. I know what it is.
And him and Reska were running and acting up this morning. So I said, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to bring them one at a time.
I don't blame you. Well, Willie, you and your feel-good self, get in that pasture and live out your life and just run to your heart's content. We are about to get started on our new pasture very soon, and we won't be moving these two beautiful creatures every day. So speaking of my hand, many of you know that I had an accident with my hand. I was leading Willie from this area over here that we put them back to the pasture where we let them sleep at night. And he felt good. So he took off running, and I had the lead rope in my hand. Wasn't wrapped around my hand, but I thought I could hold him. So I got the rope clenched in my fingers, and oh, I got a little feed or something on the end of my brace here, and I did a pretty bad number to my hand. I broke my finger, and it's a really bad break to my finger that requires surgery that will happen this upcoming Tuesday. And found out that I have a couple of other hairline fractures that will not need attention because they will be... He doesn't want you to leave him either. They will be in a brace similar to this. However, it won't be this exact brace, but that fracture, the other fractures will heal while my fingers have pins in them. I will not be in a cast. I am very, very excited to know I won't have a cast. I've never broken a bone in my life, and the thought of having a cast was not good for me. I found out that they make waterproof casts. They also make covers that you can use to get in the shower, but the surgeon wants me to continue to have use of these fingers so they don't get stiff, and I am thrilled. So if there is a good outcome with this little bump in the road I've been dealing with, it's the fact that I'm not gonna have a cast. I'll have a couple of pins and I'll be down for a little bit with the recovery, but hey, it ain't nothing but a bump in the road. And I am thrilled to say the surgery is scheduled. And I'm also thrilled to say that this shirt is a perfect example of what I've got going on. Don't be afraid to ask for help as one of these. Maker of mistakes is another one. And I think we can all relate to those things. And this is a shirt Jacqueline designed for us before my accident happened. However, it is beaming red flashing lights right now in front of me, knowing this is exactly meant for me. But as y'all can tell, I'm probably more giddy in this video than I was in the last, and that is just because of the outcome that I received yesterday, knowing I'm not going to be in a cast. And I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to let people help me. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to realize that I made a mistake. Animals, you know, they're unpredictable. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. It's not Willie's fault. It's nobody's fault. Animals are unpredictable. When you get animals, you sign up for that. And I am not fearful of a horse today any more than I was when they came here. And I'm respectful. And I hope you guys are respectful in whatever you're doing. Whether it be animals, people, whatever, just be respectful. That's all anybody can ask for. So that's my message to you today, and I hope you enjoy whatever you've got going on in your life. And just know that, you know, maybe better days are ahead. If you're having a bad day today, doesn't mean tomorrow's going to be bad. Hold your head up and put a smile on your face and do something that helps somebody else, because I promise you, it'll help you in return. Y'all, I appreciate each and every one of you, and y'all be good.